What's up YouTube, this is Roy. Joe's over there eating, so he can't say anything right now. And we have Zane with us, and he's going to be profiling his budget Nekroz.
Yeah, so by budget I mean this deck is maybe $50 to $60 at max, depending on what you pay for these cards, because most of the deck is super cheap. For the main, I guess it's your traditional regular Nekroz start, 3 Colossus and 3 Unicorn. You need these cards at 3. This adds cards from grave, that adds your spell cards from deck to hand. You need your ritual spells, you need these cards because they're just plain good in general. The only real good and expensive card I run, since I don't have Trish's, I run 3 Gungnir. With the budget version, it's just you're focusing around Gungnir control, getting a Gungnir with Genlock, and then with your Royal Decrees, and just making sure they can't play anything. You usually play your Colossus and your Unicorns to stop their extra deck too, if they already have an extra deck set up, so that way they just have a harder time getting over what you need to. For the other big monster I run 2 Decisive Armor. I don't know why people don't run this card. He's a 3300 beater that's an honest in hand, and his on-field effect is, I find, very good. He's actually, I've started to like him more and more. I don't think I'll ever run him at 3, just because he's a level 10 and he at least requires a Shrit or any of your other cards, so he's kind of hard to get out. That's it for the rituals, very budget. Gungnir's the only expensive card. Traditional start, 3 Manju. If you're not running 3 Manju in a ritual deck, there's a problem because this card's amazing. 3 Shrit, because Shrit is a use for any of the summons. And he searches your Colossals. If I had a Trish, he would search for Trish, but I don't, so. Since I mainly run Spellcasters, the 3 Unicorn and the 3 Gungnir, I run 2 of the Sorcerer, just because when he's tributed, he searches for your Spellcasters, so if you get a bad hand, if you open up like a Colossus or a Unicorn, and you want a Gungnir, you can just use him for the tribute, and then just get your Gungnir, and then just be able to go off from there. This is Rituals, so I am playing the 2 Releasers, just for vanity reasons, and this card's insane. I also run the 1 Demolisher, just because having a Decisive Armor that shuts down special summoning and cannot be targeted makes him very, 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 very hard to get over. And especially if you have Gungnir in hand, he's pretty much unkillable, which is really nice. I also run the 1 Dance Princess. I like Dance Princess, especially after I start recycling the spells with the spells in grave, just so I can add back a Unicorn or Colossus after I've pretty much used my engine for the first time. So I think she's good at 1. I don't think I'd ever run her at 1, or ever run more. I'd need to take her out if I get any of the expensive cards, but I don't have those, so I'm not going to do that. For the spells, 3 Rhoda. Rhoda's for Shrit and Colossus. It's Rhoda if you need these cards. 3 Mirror. Mirror is the best ritual spell for them, just because you can banish from graveyard, which if you use Shrits, you can still get Shrits off, which is really nice. Graveyard fodder for Dance Princess, and just easy access if once your stuff is dead. 2 Kaleidoscope, because it's good for the extra deck, I guess. It's good for Unicorn plays, or if you have like a Gungnir or something in hand and something else, you can start getting out bigger stuff. You can get out more than 1. I think this is my least favorite one out of the 3, just because it's so situational that I either only use it on Unicorn, or actually I pretty much only use it on Unicorn. I have not used it on anything else. And then 2 Cycle. Cycle's really good because it lets you reuse the ones in graveyard, which is great. If they somehow get over a big wall, you can special summon the big wall again using the gens and any Nekroz from hand. So if your Decisive Armor dies, you can get a Gungnir and and then Releaser, just to be able to get him back out, which is really nice. MST is good this format, so 2 MST. I should probably put a 3rd in here, but I feel like 2 is where it needs to be. With this deck running Royal Decree, traps aren't that big of a deal for me right now, so I don't have to really worry about it. The one prep, because prep's at 1, and that sucks. That really sucks. I wish it wasn't, but I know why they did it. Then the Momonageki, because this deck needs destruction. I kept playtesting it without it, and I'm like, if they have a set up field, it's kind of hard for me just to be able to get over it with smaller and weaker monsters. And then for the traps, the 3 Decree, because I don't run traps. I feel like the 3 Decree will help me in the long term, just because it makes the control a lot better. It makes Gungnir a lot better cards, so that way you don't have to worry about back row while she's out, which is really nice. That's it for the main. It's very budget. I don't think anything in this deck is expensive except for Gungnir and Raigeki. I'm pretty sure. For the extra, for the Kaleidoscope targets, obviously 2 Herald of Arclight. This is your generic searcher with Unicorn. He's really good, and I really like this card. Dark Strike Fighter for Unicorn Colossus. I mean, if you want to get both Unicorn and Colossus out, I mean, you have Dark Strike. Leo for Gungnir and Colossus, if you feel like you need to get both out, you can get both out. And then Star Eater for Gungnir and Unicorn. There's no rank 13, no, there's no level 13, no level 14, no level 17, so nothing for Gungnir, which is sad, but, or not Gungnir, Decisive Armor. And then for the extra, it's pretty much just generic 4s, I guess, because I couldn't think of what else to put in. Karen Gordon, Ragna, Steelstorm March, Berserk, Cowboy, Arc Dweller, Heartland Draco, Exciton, and then Dark Rebellion. Just generic 4s, in case you get a Manju and Unicorn start and you need something to go off of. You can go off of it, I guess. I haven't really relied on my extra deck that much with this. So I kind of just threw 4s in, and if I need them, I need them. If I don't, I don't.
Alright, so of course, got some questions. What made you want to play budget Nekroz?
The cards themselves are really, really pretty. So I was like, hey, they're really pretty. I don't really want to spend that much money on them since, you know, Brio's are 75, Alex are 50. But then I saw the prices of Trish and Gungnir were below what I thought they were going to be. I think they're both around 15 to 20, which is in retrospect not that bad. So I'm like, if I can get them, I can get them. And one of my friends had the 3 Gungnirs and then the rest of the deck. So I was like, I'll try to get off them, and luckily I did.
Alright, so you don't have any Trishes. How many would you play if you did have them, and what would you cut for?
I would probably run 1 Trish. I like Trish, but I don't like him all the time. I would probably cut a Gungnir for Trish, just so I could have 2 Gungnir, 1 Trish. That way a lot of my cards are live again. Makes Shruit a lot better than just searching for Colossus. Because, I mean, the main play with Shruit is you use him for Decisive Armor, search Colossus, Colossus get another spell. That way I could get a Trish and then just be able to go off. I still feel like 2 Gungnir is good for the control aspect, just because of her avoiding destruction and just her destruction in general. Gungnir's good for the banishment, but they can play, or Trish is good for the banishment, but they can play around Trish by not having a hand. It's hard to play around Gungnir when she usually has active fodder in hand.
Alright, now since you obviously don't have full-out Nekroz with the 2 Brio, you also don't have the Valks, how do you think this is going to compete against some of the other meta decks if you were to go against them?
It probably won't do anything. I know I faced Clefforts with this, and I tried to do some things, but then he just got killer out on my the biggest thing for me is I got a Decisive Armor with the gens, and he couldn't do anything. Then he just got killer out. Killer kills this thing. I mean, I can't really do much to it. It's kind of slow against meta, just because the meta's really fast. In this deck, I still have to set up plays well in advance. I think it'll be a good medium deck. This version's not the best. It's fun, just because it's just, I can actually play this deck and enjoy it. It can put up a fight. It could try to push for game, but it's not as strong as the original Nekroz, as regular Nekroz, because I don't have the Valks, the Trishers, and the Brios, which is kind of shitty, but I don't have money.
If you like the content that you just saw, you can click over here on all these other links and check out the rest of our channel.
And if you liked our stuff, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and tell us what you thought in the comments below.